Hello, Dr. Keller and fellow classmates. Welcome back to my living room and to my persuasive speech on the topic of increasing the legal age of driving from 16 to 18. Before I begin, please allow me to apologize for this delay. However, I had some personal things happening in my life that prevented me from submitting my work on time. I do truly appreciate the extension that was given to me. Without further delay, I would like for you to meet my very amazing audience that will be sitting here very quietly listening to my amazing speech. Of course, both teenagers are very excited to be on YouTube. So, this particular topic is very important to me. I have a 14-year-old daughter who will be receiving her permit next year. As you can see, this is already causing me quite some anxiety, because who would put their 15-year-old child behind the wheel of a Honda Pilot and allow them to cruise around this town? Not this mom. So, but my personal anxiety is not the reason why I chose this topic. I chose this topic because there's many research as well as a lot of statistics to support my arguments on increasing the legal age from 16 to 18. So let's take a look at this. I will be talking to you about 4 particular arguments and 4 particular reasons why it is important to raise the legal age from 16 to 18 when it comes to driving. For one, it would decrease teen obesity. Teen obesity is at an all-time rise. What better way to decrease it than making your child more active and making it walk places? Hint, hint. Another reason is that children, as they grow up and mature, they are better in making their decisions. And of course, this will lead into the legal matters that are also very crucial to be considered. And lastly, a very sad topic, it is important to raise the legal age of driving to decrease fatal accidents. Now, what do you think may some cons be? Because the pros sound really significant. I found 2 that I think that are worth mentioning. 1, if you don't allow your child to drive at 16 or the legal age will be raised to 18, your child will not gain any experience in driving and become a possible good driver. Yeah. Another reason is that it procrastinates your child's independence and you have to chauffeur your child around a little while longer. But I don't think anybody minds. So, without further delay, let's go ahead and move to my first argument. Teen obesity. What do you think about that? Teen obesity is on an all-time rise in the United States. Researchers found that children are lacking more and more activity in their lives. By raising the age from 16 to 18 would make teenagers walk places or use their bicycles as means of transportation. Hence, this would lead from them being a little bit more to love to a very active, slimmed down teenager. How wonderful is that? In addition, please go back to the other slide. Thank you. I apologize, we had some technical difficulties. In addition, children would find other ways to entertain themselves instead of movies. They would go on a hike with their friends, have bonfires, or simply go swimming. Now, my tech person may switch to my next slide, which brings me to my second argument of the brain development in children. Researchers said, and psychologists, but one is standing out. It is Dr. Arrington, a pediatrician. She states that children develop with age. That means that their brain matures, they are more inclined to make sound decisions, especially during driving. Because what does it mean to a child that something is forbidden or something is not okay to do on the road? May I use my blinker? Should I not use my blinker? Should I switch lanes? Should I not? This is all what's going on in a teen's mind as they are driving down the highway about 75 miles an hour. That is pretty intense. So, Dr. Arrington says that throughout the teenager years, the cognitive development is at an all-time rise and reaches its full potential, as well as psychosocial and emotional, which I talked to you about in my last speech. So I will not repeat myself. Furthermore, please go back to the other slide. Thank you. Furthermore, the legal aspect, so I'm going to talk to you about two arguments in one because it just simply makes sense, is that children or young teenagers don't quite understand the legal concept of things. When we look at the statistics by Goodwin at the International Journal of Children's Rights, 42% don't understand the legal concept at all. This is a really high number if you think about it. So far so that when we move to my next slide now, that when something happens to your child on the road, this is you in the middle of court because your child is legally cannot be held accountable for certain matters that they do. Whether that is they hit and run over something or they cause a terrible accident, yes, they will get a SWAT on their hands. However, at the end of the day, that family member that just lost a family member by the hand of your child driving that vehicle at 16 will never get the fair punishment nor closure that most people expect. You will be here in this courtroom trying to help your child not to go to prison. As we're discussing this particular slide, statistics state that there is a correlation between fatal accidents and the age of drivers. Dr. Zhang, a researcher, said that many teenagers who drive are causing accidents due to their inattention. That gives us about 8% of that statistics. Inexperience, which that is quite understandable at age 16, nobody has experience. Drinking and driving is actually pretty high at 16%, and impaired driving, whether that is influenced by alcohol or drugs, makes up to 13%. This study was performed over the time of 9 years, I believe. So, now we will move along to my next slide and the problem that young age drivers may create. Young drivers are very easily disturbed by driving, whether that is being on their cell phones, eating, listening to music, messing around with their radio station. This unfortunately may lead to poor choices in traffic situations, whether that means they hit your neighbor's cat, run over the trash can, little tiny things that do add up, however. So, increasing the age of driving would prohibit that because children would be more mature in their decision making and less distracted while they're driving. That will also decrease the fatal accidents that they are involved in. And finally, to the cons of my presentation. So, let's talk about the cons of my persuasive speech. As parents, of course, we're losing our minds driving our kids to soccer practice, football practice, volleyball practice, horseback riding lessons, or simple music lessons. Sometimes we have children that are not even ours in the vehicle. They just want to come along for a ride. However, it is only in our children's interest to keep them safe because this is our duty as parents. This is our duty as citizens of this city. So if the opportunity ever arises for you to vote for the increase of the age, I certainly hope that you will vote yes. On that note, I would like to end my presentation, and I thank you so much for your patience, and I appreciate you watching it even though delayed. Thank you.